Hello students, welcome to an academy. In today's session, we are going to discuss the most discussed event in these recent days, that is the uncertain and unexpected events for the humankind itself, which is happening between Iran and Israel, and where Israel is backed by the United States of America. In today's session, we are going to see what is the why behind this particular crisis that we are seeing today, and how this will take forward, and what are the various challenges that are associated with this particular crisis. Yes, Iran Israel crisis 2026, the day the Middle East changed forever. Talking about myself, I am Mohammad Azhar Amme, an educator at an academy. You can get my profile in the Unacademy app, and you can watch free live classes at an Academy app. Please do search for the educator with this name, Mohammad Azhar Amme. You can see my classes, and here we go. So what happened recently? What was the major incidents which led to whatever we are seeing today? Did this issue between these two countries started happening recently? No, it had a long lasting history of fighting through the proxies. So, proxy war means they are not coming directly to each other, but through some other militant agencies or extremist group, they were always into tensions, hostilities, and attacks. But now there are no proxy wars could be seen. It's an open kind of an attack performed by Iran as well as Israel. And this particular massive joint military operation of United States and Israel is known in the name Operation Epic Jury. It is also known as Operation Genesis against Iran. This all happened, or this issue triggered, when the Iran's supreme leader, who is more powerful even than the president of Iran, because Iran is known as a theocratic setup of or theocratic political setup. This Iran supreme leader was killed by the Israel backed by the US in an attack or a targeted attack, and also 40 top officials were killed along with him. This has triggered, this has created unrest situation across the Middle East region. This war is not sudden. It is a result of a long lasting political tensions, and the major important tension between, or why US is also very much interested in ending the political regime of the ongoing Iran, is nothing than the nuclear dispute that is between Iran and the other countries. It's not just about the nuclear, but also, yes, religion is also a part of it. The religious ideological conflict were also a part of the tensions between Iran, Israel, even Israel backed by the US. For years, it was a shadow war, it was a proxy war, but no more, it is a proxy war. Now, coming to this incident, who are the major players? Definitely, United States, Israel, and Iran. But since the location, if you see, Iran and Israel has a lot of distance between them, and there are many other countries like especially the Arabian GCC countries, them also started coming as the main players in this particular scenario. Now it's not just between Iran, Israel, and US. There are many other countries like UAE, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait, Oman, where in these countries there were one or other casualties that were created by this particular warlike situation. And the proxy groups which were operating in this region were Hezbollah, Hamas, Houthis. They were actually, way before this attack, they were doing a lot of small degree and higher degree attacks which were known as the proxy attacks or proxy war. Now, why this Operation Epic Fury or Genesis? This is a preemptive attack. US and Israel describe this as something a preemptive attack. So what is a preemptive attack? Someone is attacking you believing that if I am not attacking him right now, he will be doing the same thing me in the future. So as a precaution regarding what? Nuclear threat. Iran is very powerful with their nuclear potential. So this particular nuclear threat by the Iran to prevent it. Otherwise, there are chances that they will use it in the future. Actually, this preemptive attack is launched by the Israel backed by the US. That is their view of point they are putting forward. Now, there were multiple objectives of this attack launched or the preemptive attack launched by the Iran. The first and most, yes, to remove the Iran's leadership. Iran's leadership removal is not just Israel's matter, but even for US because of many reasons. And the most important thing, that is with reference to the nuclear capacity they are keeping high. And the missile development which was rapidly happening in Iran, as well as the regime change. So recently in Iran, there were a lot of protests happening by the citizens against the government, because since it is a theocratic setup, the most of the decisions and the powerful decisions will be taken by the religious leaders. Even the president is under them. So as put forwarded by US and Israel, the attack was not only just targeting, but they never targeted the common men or the habitated areas, but unfortunately schools were bombed and such incidents were also happened. Now, who is this Iranian leader who was assassinated? Ali Khamenei. He was the non-Iranian leader, not only just Iranian leader, he was a leader of the Shia sect of Muslim. On 28 February 2026, it happened. Many senior officials with him also were killed. And Donald Trump immediately he came and he said, yes, justice is served. But it was not a point of end. The attack started. The attacks went from Iran to some other Gulf countries, even to the Middle East countries where they didn't expect this would happen. Now going back to the history, in 1953 we will reach. In 1953, there was a democratically elected government in Iran, Mohammad Mossadegh. He was actually overthrew by the US CIA because US force has made him irrelevant, and that regime, that democratically elected regime was ended in 1953. This created a very anti-US feeling in Iran. And after that, in 1979, Islamic Revolution happened in Iran. The ruler at that point of time, the Shah, he was removed by the Ruhollah Khomeini, and the religious government or the religious setup took power in Iran. From that moment onwards, when the theocratic government setup has started coming, two countries were treated as the Satan, as well as the Israel was mentioned as the illegal regime. So now illegal regime, as you know, yes, they are talking with the Gaza or the Palestine. So due to the religious ideology, they considered Israel's aggression towards the Gaza or the Palestine was something that called illegal regime. The relationship from that moment between Iran, Israel and the US started becoming worse. So this year of 1979, in which Islamic Revolution took place, it holds a greater role. So as I said, the illegal regime, the term used by the Iranian government was a reference to Israel, where they have taken the Palestine's land unfairly and in a very unexpected and unfair manner. The other major important thing with reference to this issue is the nuclear issue. Iran is saying that yes, our nuclear program is peaceful, we do have it, but it's completely peaceful. But Israel at the other end is alleging that still Iran is building the nuclear weapons. United States is saying they are hiding it, they are fooling us, it's a global threat. several nuclear deals were happened, several talks, several negotiations were happening. Everything was failed, and the result is what we are seeing now. Now, Iran's axis of resistance were always based on three militant groups. Iran openly supports Hezbollah from Lebanon, Hamas from Gaza, and Houthis of Yemen. These groups from time to time they attacked Israel and the US allies. This was creating a continuous regional tension in this area for years. Now, Iran also responded in the same degree of what Israel was doing, backed by the United States of America. And this Iran's response is termed as Operation Truthful Promise 4. Hundreds of drones were launched, ballistic missiles were launched. Even the targets were set to Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait, where the interest and the basements of US or Israel was existing. Now, the Gulf countries, they targeted not because of they had some issues with Oman or UAE or Bahrain. It's simply because they were hosting the US military bases. Iran said that these countries are helping them and they are feeding them to have it. Now, all this issue takes us to this particular strait, which is known as Strait of Hormuz, and there is a crisis happening in this strait, which is creating a devastating crisis for the food, or it is turning to a global food, oil and energy crisis. Strait of Hormuz, it carries nearly 20% of global oil passes through here. It is one of the most important oil route, but the US has claimed that in this area they have actually 9 Iranian naval vessels were sunk. And this area created a kind of a unsafe zone, and no ships are willing to go there. So no logistics is happening, and this has immediately shot up the prices of oil. It's not just about oil, energy and food and about nuclear power. It's also about the humanitarian crisis. There were urban bombing happened in Tehran. Schools were bombed and collapsed. Girls' schools were collapsed and bombed. Missiles were hitting the civilian areas in Israel and the Gulf region. And this is something which is very painful. Thousands got displaced. Hospitals are overwhelmed. But in Iran, it's very interesting to know that there are two kind of simultaneous reactions happening at the same time after the killing of their supreme religious leader. Some citizens are celebrating. Others are actually demanding the revenge on US and Israel. Because in Iran, since the theocratic and the Islamic Shia rule has been put forwarded, it denied many rights, especially of the women, and there were many agitated. Many of them were agitated and strongly criticizing the government and the theocratic system of the Iran. So in Iran, it is going to have a tough time to decide the future course of the government. Now, this is not ending with them. This is not ending with Iran. This is not ending with USA. This is not ending with Israel. From China, from Russia, the leaders are coming. Vladimir Putin has condemned this assassination of the supreme leader of Iran. China is worried about the oil supply. If Russia and China and some other countries or allies of these countries, if they come directly, if they enter into this picture directly, we have to wait and see how the world is going to be. And the nuclear safety risk was also put forwarded by the International Atomic Energy Agency. They called an emergency meeting, and their concern was, in any case, if any nuclear plants are damaged, radiation leak is possible, environmental disaster, regional contamination, all these three things are going to have a high level of not only the current crisis but for the future also. Dear students, it's time for me to wrap up, and we'll see in the next session with another topic, and hope to see you all. This is me signing out from Unacademy YouTube platform. Please do subscribe. Thank you. Bye bye.